Yeah, there we go.
All right, we go. I don't know what happened. But,
okay.
People, what's going on?
Hold on, let's make sure. Let's get them in here.
Let's get people. What's going on? What's going on? All right.
Make sure you end right there too, though.
All right, let me end. But is that going to end that? Because they're connected.
How many people over there?
I have 5 or 7. Huh.
Okay, so go to your. Let me go to your Facebook.
Yeah, go to your. Yeah.
Let's see what it says.
Yeah. That's so weird. Am I running 2 different lives? Hold on.
Guys, let us know if you can see us. There we go. Yeah, see.
Okay.
So go to the YouTube page and go to Body Series.
You can't see or hear anything. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, because they're on. Okay, so you see, there's 2.
All right, so delete one. Oh, okay, let me delete one of them.
See, you have this one as Mentourme interviews boutique beauty. Hold on.
No.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
Hold on, we're having a little technical difficulties today. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me go here to my page. 1 second.
Okay, yeah, you gotta cancel that because this one is showing and the name's not even right. So as you can see, you have 5 people in here, but it says there's a camera angle thing. That's what you want to be on. But the one under it.
Okay, so this is the one we gotta get rid of right here.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Because the name even says we're interviewing somebody. That's the one we gotta delete.
Why is it not letting me delete this? Okay. Oh, okay. You know what? 1 second. I gotta go back.
There we go. Okay, so you're live on Facebook right now. I mean, on your profile, so we're good with that. Give us a second, everybody. We have some technical issues.
Yeah, we have.
My bad about that.
Let me cancel this. That's the problem. Okay, return to the board. Get me out of that. Okay. So this is what we need to be in. Now this should fix the problem right here. All right, we should be good now.
Okay, but make sure you delete the other one.
All right, I'm not actually. Okay, now it's good.
Okay, yeah, that's way better. Yeah, it should be both of us. Yeah, but make sure you delete the other one from the profile.
Yeah, so let me. All right.
Because we don't want them being confused because it's literally right directly under it. So you could probably just hide the video or something in the meantime from your profile. I can't do it because it's your page. Right?
Yeah, I'm not sure how did that happen. Okay, let's try. Okay, boom. All right, cool.
There it is. Boom. Now let me refresh your page really quick. Make sure it's not
refresh this page.
All right, perfect. It's gone. All right, good. Appreciate you guys. Sorry about that. We have some technical difficulties. Appreciate
Sorry about that. We back. We had a little.
Rachel, I appreciate you. Okay.
Rachel, good looking on that.
Thank you so much. Now it looks better. So we know it has to look like that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it wasn't your camera. It was because this obviously should reflect there. All right, cool. We're not TV producers, guys. So just just bear with us. We just know how to make money. That's it.
People, as you guys know, we're always talking about relationship topics. Appreciate the love, Rachel. Tonight's topic is a real great topic. Are you sure you want a successful man? A lot of women say they want a successful man, but what comes with it, the sacrifices that come with it, the type of energy you have to sometimes deal with is not worth it. Yeah. Sometimes it is worth it based on the type of woman or woman that he dates. At the end of the day, people are going to talk about this topic and break it down. Mm-hmm. And then also starting every Thursday, we're not just going to be talking about relationship topics. We're going to go into macro topics like why is the Black community not building wealth? We're going to start to go into other topics also. This is called The Painful Truth every Thursday night at 9 p.m. or 9:30 p.m.
Yeah.
And
we might push it back a little later.
Yeah,
our schedule's a little crazy right now.
Yeah.
We both work, work in financial industries and dealing with money and stuff like that. So, around these times of the year, end of the year, beginning of the year is very, very busy for us. So, dealing with real estate, things like that. So, the market's horrible right now.
Sure.
We're just very busy right now. So I would say towards 9:30ish, 10 o'clock. We're going to solidify time, but I would say probably 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30, 10 o'clock, we should be live every Thursday.
Yeah, between that range.
We're going to really open up conversations into some real truthful conversations, not just relationships.
Correct.
We're going to now shift also into just other topics that people are scared to talk about.
And next week we're going to dig into that. Does the Black community care about building wealth?
Yeah, right? We really want to talk about that. Like, what's going on? Why is there no wealth building in the Black community? We're going to talk about some real topics.
And then we're going to give you exactly our perspective on that, why we feel that way, right? But for today's topic, are you sure you want a successful man? And I know...
what is a successful man, Mike? You got to explain what is it, because it's subjective. Explain to the audience what is a successful man. Talk to them.
Very simple. So for this conversation, what we're going to say successful man is he is a fella who is what I consider a rising star.
Okay.
Who's the rising star? The age between 29 and 35.
Okay.
He's in shape. Most likely he's educated in some form or fashion. He works in either a blue or white collar profession, right? And he has a network of men, right? It may not all be, high successful men, but he has a network of respectable men, right? Who are also in that tier, coming up with him, and been in their career for a few years, and now they're on the trajectory to have an exponential growth. So right now you're catching them right here, right before they go up. Those men, right? There's two things you need to verify with these men, right? That you need to make sure you understand. These type of men think of them as a plane that's about to take off, Bobby.
Okay.
And the plane that's about to take off, the worst thing that can happen to a plane that's about to take off is too much pressure or adding additional weight.
Okay.
Right? Or let me, in the plane reference analogy, additional baggage, right?
Additional. Are you saying women are additional baggage?
Let me explain.
Clarify.
Additional baggage that needs to be checked in.
Okay.
Okay, so you need to check in because you're getting onto his program. There's a reason why I'm saying this. Follow me. The baggage can either be one of two things. It could be you. It could be what you're bringing with you, right? It could be a mix of both. It could be actually both. So it could be you or what you're bringing with you, which is when I say baggage. When I say what you're bringing with you, it's not only just a child. That's one aspect, but it also could be what you're bringing with you that you travel from your previous situation.
Okay.
And brought to this new destination. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by that. But these men are on the trajectory going up. They're probably right at the cusp of six figures, 80, 90,000, but they're about to be at the 150, 253. They're about to start making exponential growth. They're on that track going up. They're, directors about to be, assistant vice presidents and vice presidents. These are the type of guys I'm talking about. Now, the question that most women need to verify, right? And it's a question I really want to ask them. Is, to be with these types of men, it requires you to have a level of humility, I believe.
Okay, I see where you're going with that.
It requires a level of humility. And what I mean by that is you got to be able to be receptive to direction, because you may have not been led by a real man before.
Yeah, so that's going to really be, for some women, that could be difficult. Because you got to really think about
it. But explain that, though. Why would that be? Because I'm assuming it's because there's no experience in that aspect.
Really think about it. There's a lot of women, as we see in the Clubhouse, that complain about, finding a good man or finding
Follow
a
us on
strong
Clubhouse,
man.
Please. If you don't have Clubhouse, get the app. Follow Mentourme, follow.
For sure. People, get on Clubhouse. It's a dope platform. Follow Mentourme, follow Mike the Advisor. We're always in these chat rooms about relationships and just life. Yeah. And we're always talking about giving great information. And this is a real problem. Like, really think about this. A lot of women complain they're having a hard time finding a great man, a leader.
Okay.
And you gotta understand, if you're used to dating a certain type of men that always needs your help, that always needs you to answer questions, that may even want you to pick food on the menu for them. That's how much of a man masculinity they lack.
Right.
You can imagine when you find a man that just knows what he wants, very strong-minded,
correct,
knows exactly where he's ready to go, where he's going to lead the family.
Focused.
He's focused. That woman could sometimes feel like, oh my God, he's controlling, or he's not letting me.
He's not controlling. You know what he is.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the other word?
And let me be honest with you. Oh, he's a narcissist. For some reason, every woman, once they leave a man, he's a narcissist. But whatever. Women with a successful man, you got to understand, they're a true leader, a true successful man, based on what we're talking about tonight, is not going to be weak. He's going to stand for what he believes in. Correct. He knows what he wants, and he's going to do what it takes to get it. Yeah. And he's going to be a man that understands what he wants at what time, meaning this.
Correct.
If he wants to go out, he already knows where he's bringing you, at what time. Right. And compared to other men, I mean, babe, you can just pick. I mean, I ain't really... Right.
So these are the men, what you're saying, Bobby, is that these are the men who have, then we're talking about tonight, we talk about successful.
100%.
These are the men who have a vision
100%.
and are trying to vet and see where you fit into that vision.
For sure.
That's it. That's all we're saying. He's trying to see where you fit in and vet you to see where you fit into that vision.
Facts.
These are not really confused men. They may not have every single detail for the next 10 years, but they have a lot of the important stuff thought about.
Yeah.
So, okay, do I want to be with her? Does she add baggage, stress to me? Or while I'm hustling 60, 70 hours a week,
I must always say that.
if I'm hustling 60, 70 hours a week, when I come home, do I enjoy coming to the house? Do I enjoy getting on the phone and calling her? Do I enjoy these types of things because it's an experience? You know what I'm saying? Because she understands the vision, she's there for the ride, and she's supporting it. Men just care for the support, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I say about receiving and being receptive to orders, because a lot of the women that we coach, and especially me when I talk to these women on one-on-ones, a lot of the time I realize that they are thinking about themselves, right? Because they'll say, well, I this, and for me this, and it's a very singular conversation.
Yeah, there's no plural in that.
There's no plural into nothing that she's talking about. What I mean by that is that you're always looking at what he's giving you and what you're receiving.
100% facts.
So I always flip the question to the ladies and I say, well, ma'am, what does he think about this? Oh, well, he thinks that. Okay, you're automatically giving me the negative. But when was the last time you asked him what he thinks about this? Well, why do I have to ask? Or I never thought about it. Those are the things right there, because there's a level of accountability and humility that he's going to require. Because he can't manage the world, be a boss at work, and then come home and have to manage you as well. There's a certain level of emotional fatigue he's going to have.
I think it also comes with this too. Like, women, if you're dating a successful man, really ask yourself a question: are you adding value or are you adding stress? Because if the man is growing, he's going to want you to help in certain areas.
Yeah.
Even if it's the intangible areas or the tangible areas. Maybe he might need some help getting his receipt books together. Or do you know how to use Excel? Or is that something in school you felt was dumb, you never took it serious?
Right.
But now you got a guy who's running a business. He may not be good with the back end, but hey, what's great is, well, I'm good with that. I could assist. Now you're adding value to him compared to a lot of women who can't do that.
Or he may need a great receptionist, office manager. Or he may need somebody, let's say he's a corporate guy, he may need a woman who can make sure, his clothes is ready for the next morning. She takes it to the dry cleaner. She perceives his expectations. Okay, baby, I know you went to work, you're studying for this, you're doing your master's. Like his free time, which normally people would have free time, this is the time where he's spending, all his free time is spent building, learning something. He's in a course. He's constantly feeding his brain.
It's very true, man. Like, even right now, we're on social media. Having a woman who understands social media, especially, like, say, with my world, that's a healthy situation.
Right.
A person that knows how to cut videos, maybe upload videos, that want to help.
Correct.
That's such a value added. You really separate yourself from the rest. Well, I don't know how to do it, but if you show me, I can help out if you show me.
Correct.
I can respect the woman compared to, oh, you about to do your thing on Thursday? You about to do your thing on Tuesday? Okay.
All right, then. I'll
see you later. Damn.
Call me when you're done.
No, it's time to go to dinner, you're ready. When it's time to go out, when it's time to go on vacation, you're ready. It's time to go on brunch, you're ready.
Right.
But when it's time to help with where in an area where he finds it important,
right.
All of a sudden you're not interested.
Right.
You see,
and it's not that he needs the help. Let's just be clear about this. It's not that he needs the help. What the help does, in whatever form or fashion, what the support does, let me just say.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great word to use.
Yeah, what the support shows is it separates, right? It's a value add. So it's like, damn, out of all the women that he has the option of choosing, she separates because she sees bigger picture.
Very true.
Men in general, we look at bigger pictures. It's not
100%.
just about us.
100%.
So if we'll argue, hence why we don't just divorce right away. We'll stick with the BS because we want to look at bigger picture. Damn, I know she got on my nerves and this and that, but let me think about the bigger picture. First thinking about me.
That's very true. A lot of people don't think about that. Not to cut you off.
No.
The bigger picture is something you got to see, especially when you want to grow. And women, you're saying you want to get the ring, you want to get married. There's a science to this. There's a real science behind this. If you're not getting picked up going into your 40s, going into your 45s, or you're in your late 30s and you're not getting picked up,
I'm gonna be honest with you, at that age, boss man, you need to sit on the bench and let the new people come in, because every day somebody's turning 21.
The problem is, you see, today there was a woman on Clubhouse. The room is talking about what she's doing. She's being argumentative, not wanting to listen. Everything is.
Hence why
everything is what she says.
Older, because she's more hardened and stuck in her ways, and she's been hurt before.
And the host of the room is like, you got to be kidding me. This is why a lot of men don't want to deal with you. Because of, and imagine the girl she said she's been married 4 times.
Married or engaged?
Engaged. Let's clarify.
Okay.
And I had to ask you, sweetheart, you been engaged 4 times?
Yeah.
Or married? Because I realize there's a lot of men they're engaged.
Yeah, these are the engagement queens. You know, black women are engaged. I've been engaged 4 times.
You've been engaged 4 times, or you've been married 4 times. There's a big difference. If you've been engaged, okay, you got the ring, you got the level 1, but the level 2 is what matters.
You didn't maintain.
You didn't walk that out.
Yeah, you didn't maintain it. You test drove the car. You didn't buy it. Okay, so. But I want to get into the next point, right? So we spoke about the type of successful men. If you're just tuning in, the type of successful men we're talking about, are you sure you want a successful man? And the type of successful men we're talking about in this segment is men who are a rising star, right? Yeah. Between the ages of 29 to 35, works in blue or white collar.
Hey, Mrs. Poppin.
Yeah, what's up, boy? Works in blue or white collar. Most likely is educated or is currently in education and finishing something, right? Works in some type of field that has a high growth potentially a STEM field, right? And he's a guy that is always focused on his path, his purpose, his vision. That's what he's looking for. Now, when you coming into his vision, has to be a value add to him. So the second thing first thing we spoke about was, you got to have a certain level of agreeableness and being humble, understanding, being able to take feedback. These types of men are most likely leading, running things at their job. They're not going to come home and be ran by somebody. They're going to come home and say, all right, babe, can we do this, and that? Can you put this over here for me? Thank you so much. Of course, babe. Not saying you're going to be just a little slave. Like, women, don't think of this as this is not a less than type of thing. This is you're creating a space. I want you to understand, think of yourself as an event planner. What your job is, or what your position, your role is you're an event planner. Your role is to create an environment, an enjoyable space, something that's inviting. So when I come home or when I come around you, you got to be at the house. I just come around you, and it's just like, damn, your energy is great. You just make me forget about the stress I had for the day. My boss, the sales call I made didn't. But when I get around, I'm laughing, I'm kicking. Oh my God, you're in a great energy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe we hate stressing, right? But the second point we like to talk about is, do you value his time or his money?
That's a real good one, right? I like that one. Women really understand, like, when you're dating a real successful man, sometimes he's not going to have a lot of time, especially if he's super successful, meaning he's in the 300s and up. When he's on that level, he doesn't always have as much time as you think, compared to a guy that's making, I don't know, $40,000 to $80,000 or $100,000. When the guy's making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, his time is very valuable.
Correct.
And if he gives you some of that time, make sure you understand the value of it.
But here's the reason we spoke about the rising stars, right? The guys who ain't there yet, on their way to the 300-400s, they're just as busy.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know they have to put it's a trajectory. You have to put yourself in position. Sure, when the plane 100%. Is taking off, that's when it's going its fastest. Very so true. It can catch gravity and take off and stay in the air, not just go in the air and fly back down.
Very true.
So as he's on his way to 300-600, when he gets to a certain level, he's going to coast.
That's very true.
Right? That's what a plane does.
Exactly.
But when he's on that, trying to grind and push through, he's trying to push through the marketplace, push through the noise. He's a rising star. He's really about to just,
very true.
This is where you want to catch him. Because the 300-400s, you don't want to catch them there. One, there's a small pool of them. There's much more on this track than just the 300-400s.
For sure. Oh, yeah.
You feel me? The rising stars. That's where you want to catch them at.
How many black men do you meet on an average week or average year that say they make $300,000 to $700,000?
Oh, it's zero. Those are exceptions.
That's an exception. That's a rare commodity.
Right.
You don't always hear that. I'm not saying they don't exist. It's not commonly known to hear a black man
very small minority
always making, $300,000 to $700,000 a year. Yeah. 80 to 170. You get a lot of that nowadays. Yeah. A lot of that. A lot of people make 100,000.
Yeah.
Because if you make it 100 nowadays, people are working 60, 70 hours a week to make $100,000. So meaning and there's some people making it the easy way and the hard way, meaning some people don't even have time to sleep.
Correct.
And this is what we're talking about. You got to understand what type of guy you get. If he's an entrepreneur, he's exactly like what Mike's talking. He's just taking off.
Correct.
The plane is just taking off.
Correct.
He's in that grind mode, and he's just about to.
So in 24 months, he's about to be in the 200-300 range, but it requires a certain level of momentum.
For sure.
That's what he's catching. He's catching momentum.
I think that's so essential. Man.
On his way to momentum, that's really the best time to position yourself. You need to already be in the plane, right? But once you start adding additional baggage, once the plane is moving, you might get left behind. So this is why I feel like maybe adding time. Do you value the time or money? Because the time, we get women that ask us, Mike, he ain't got time for me.
Rachel asked a real comment. Rachel says, I understand men like young women. Not all men. There is certain men that do like young women, but I get what you're saying. Okay, which is true.
Yeah.
Do I understand that men like young women? But do you not find women in their early 20s to be a bit obnoxious and immature? I haven't ran into many women that age range that can even hold a decent conversation. Sorry if I'm a little off topic. No, you're not off topic.
No, you're not off topic at all. You're right on topic.
You're right on topic. That's a great response. Great.
Here's what I can address this.
Statement to say. Great. Go ahead, Mike.
It's kind of like saying, like Bobby gave me actually this analogy, right? It's kind of like saying when women like to tell us when we do our one-on-ones, I don't understand my homegirl. She's a great woman, and she's no.
Yeah.
To you, she is, right?
Yeah.
You're not dating her, right? Same with the women you're in reference to. The conversations they're having with you is only with you. You're not seeing the conversations they're having with us, right?
Facts.
What I mean by that is we're the ones that's hunting them, right? As men. So what you may not value as a conversation, I may be like, damn, she's smart.
Very true.
Damn, she got. I know a 21-year-old right now. I could take it literally anywhere.
Well, could you take her serious?
Oh, 100%. 100%. We just.
I don't know. I can't take it 21.
We just didn't work. But my point.
I can't take a little.
My point is that she was an anomaly, right? So she was an anomaly. She was somebody that wasn't like all of them. So I don't prefer them that young. But she was the exception. She wasn't the rule, right? So, but I would say between the anything below in the range of 24 to 27, 28. That between that range, you might find some that are much better. Not all, but you have a better chance because they've been out here a little longer. But there's not really a sweet age. There's not really a sweet specific spot, right? I just know that before they hit that 3-0, that's when you're dealing with somebody who's a little bit more hardened. So it's not just conversational because men are not just looking for conversation people. We're not just looking for a pen pal we could talk to all day. We don't even like to talk that much anyway. So we want someone that can understand us on a certain level, that can agree with us on a certain level, that can understand I'm on his boat, I'm on his plane, I'm on his car, I'm on his journey to life. I'm still doing what I got to do, but I'm helping him push to get there. That's the reason why we'll go with the younger.
Women, I want you to understand, it takes a level of humbleness to do that. I like what Amos said. Amos says, you'll be surprised how many young women have their heads on their shoulders.
100%.
This generation are filled with self-driven young women. Now, just because it's a self-driven young woman, okay, and they have their head on their shirt, that does not mean the man is going to wife her. But it's just to prove a point that it's true. Times have changed. There's young women who make it $200,000-300,000 a year at 20 years old. We
can't blanket this.
Things have changed.
We can't. And here's what I don't want. I don't want the older women to project on the men that don't hit the younger girls because they don't know what they're doing. Most men prefer that because I don't want you a 30-plus-year-old behind that's been everywhere. I can't do nothing with you. Nothing excites you. You've been here. You've been there. You've been to this restaurant. Like,
you know what? I never really looked at it like that's a good point. When you get a woman that done everything,
it's you got to understand. It's like
that's a good point.
It's like for a man, it's like a man dating up. I'm going to get Larsa Pippen. Let's just say, for example, right, an ex-NBA champion wife, right? She's much older than me. 10 times
that's a real good point.
Richer.
I like that. That's
where am I gonna? What am I gonna do for her? Like, as in, where am I going to take her? He hasn't already been. She don't have to show me stuff because she's super ultra wealthy is what I call them. She flies jets. I do commercial. She goes, you know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
She goes to certain things. That's an invite only. So me taking her to freaking Prime 112, that's like Burger King to her, because she's going to stuff that you only can get invited to. So my point is that there's levels, and it's both. It happens both ways.
Yeah, both ways. Yeah.
For a man to date up with a woman who's already multimillionaire, who dated a superstar, athlete, what can me as a man show her, right? So it's the same thing going down. Dating down or as an age, there's much more that I can teach you. There's much more that you're willing to do. You're much more humble, right? As you get older, can't nobody tell you shit. And because can't nobody tell you shit, you believe anything that's less than what you want is settling, right? And that's where the conflict comes into play, because we don't know how to conflict.
Yeah.
So with younger women, I don't have a conflict issue. When we talk, it's listen.
That's a different dynamic to look at.
We're gonna get to a common ground. Okay, you're right. Because I'm in the driver position. For me as men and men who are successful going on this rising star, we like to be in the driver position, not to control.
I hear a lot of men complain about this whole, like, women don't like to let a man sit in that driver's seat.
I mean, to that, here's the thing with that. Here's the thing with that, Bobby.
Cut your conversation short.
No,
really, like,
here's the thing with that, though.
What's the problem? Why is black women having problems?
So let me ask you, why do you think?
Here's what I don't want to say, right? And I'm going to say it, right? Women love to use the crutch. You know, we've gone through a lot. I've been struggling. I'm an independent woman and I'm single, blah, blah, blah.
What's the next one? So I know you know. Well, I'm asking, why do you believe that is?
Well, I always feel like one of the biggest things with a lot of women, when they're not receptive, is because they're so masculine.
It's not even that.
Which one is it?
It's the man. I'm talking about the man.
Oh, the man. Okay. I see where you're going. Okay.
So the reason why is because a lot of them have not been in the position to lead, or they've shown that they cannot, right? So this is why a lot of them are getting this friction, because they don't have certain things in their life, which is why in the PDF, we created a PDF, right? Yeah, and it talks about the vetting questions. I sent about 20 of them out last night because women were requesting it. It was a free PDF. Put your email in the comments and we'll send it to you as well if you want, so you can, email me or
it's a real healthy PDF teaching you vetting questions on how to vet men.
And this is the date number 1. Date. And the reason why date number 1, this is, like I said, for women who really just say, you know what, I just want to get married. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, because we're trying to help you filter the options of the dudes who just want to hit, the dudes who just want to take you to Pound Town, the dudes who just want to see what you're about, kind of just rinse you out for a little bit, versus the guys who are dating with intention. Guys who are dating with intention are a little bit different, so that they're not going to be. You're going to find better quality with these questions. But one of the questions asks men a certain question, and it helps them understand, can they lead.
That's a real good question. See, here's my thing too. You're so right about that. I realize that leadership in the black culture is not so common. And
that's a big one.
When a woman is so complacent with lack of leadership, you can imagine the difficulty she will have to be receptive to a great leader. It's going to be a problem.
Correct.
And it's going to be a problem for a long time.
Yeah.
Because in their mind, he's trying to control me.
Yeah.
He's trying to tell me what to do. No, he's trying to guide you because that's what he understands. That's what a man.
That's his natural.
That's his natural trait.
Natural trait. Yeah. So going against that kind of causes issues. So that's kind of the reason why, right? But a lot of times, though, I think for successful men, right, like we talk about tonight, the rising stars. While we ask, "Are you sure if you want to be?" Because it seems as if most women want that, right? Yeah. And nothing wrong with that. A larger pool that you can pull from is the rising stars, not the guys who are already on the moon. You don't want, everybody wants the guys on the moon, but he's so far removed from y'all, you don't even know one of them. You think you know one of them, but you don't. So the guys that's much more in abundance is the guys that's right here on the cusp. They're about to, in 2 years, they're going to be way up here, but right here, right now is where you can catch them. Because there's much more of them out there. They're getting produced every day. So what I mean is that they're on a very bright trajectory. Those are the ones you want to go after. Now, to go after and work with those men and to be of value to those men, there's certain things you got to understand, right? But I think to your point when you said why men are having so much issues with women letting them lead is because, women need help. They need coaching. And what I mean by coaching, they need help from the other sex, not from their own, not from another woman, right?
I like how
single women keep single women single, right? So But single men can give you the game to get married. That's my point, because we're the ones getting on our knees. We're the one asking for the commitment. We're the ones asking for the relationship. Very true. So we're gonna give you the game.
We actually give the closure to getting you where the next level where you want to go. We're marrying you. You're not marrying us.
Right. So you don't need to be with a quote unquote high value. You just need to find a man of quality. And a man of quality, right, is gonna have certain qualities that can help lead a family. He has his head on straight. He don't got time for all this social media stuff and following the trends. And no, he's worrying about writing pitch books and investment banking, mergers and acquisitions, technology, cybersecurity, stock markets. Like, he's worried about different things that the majority don't even want to understand. It's too boring to them. That's the guy you want to focus on. So, but also I've realized, Bobby, too, that women have an issue of understanding the difference between what we spoke about before, right? Understanding if you're dealing with a man or a man boy. A lot of women have had experiences with man boys.
But you know what? Here's the thing, right? While we reset the room, I want you guys to know tonight's topic is about, are you sure you want a successful man?
Don't lie now.
Are you sure you want a successful man? In this case, we're talking about two different types of successful men. The man that's on the brinks of, he's just starting, it's like an airplane. He's just about to take off and go from $100,000 to $400,000. And the man that's at $200,000 a year, $200,000 to maybe $700,000 a year. There's two different levels in this particular scenario, this particular episode on a successful man. Are you sure you want a successful man? People don't understand what comes with a successful man, the lifestyle, the sacrifice of time you may have to make, the added value you may have to add to his life to really let him see that you're worthy. Because women, I want you to understand, there's a lot of options for men. And again, for the opposing side, for women, your options are, you have options too, a lot, but there's not of quality. Mm-hmm. If you're talking a quality option of a successful man, not just financial, but mental, spiritual, and a man that's going to be there for you, it's very limited.
Right.
So it's imperative that these topics really, get understood and you take from it whatever you want to take from it. Because we're not only going to talk about just relationship topics on Thursday night, we're going to go even into macroeconomy topics. Like next week, we're talking about why does the black community care about building? For sure, this is such a problem. A lot of the black community owns nothing.
Right.
Not saying at all, but do you care about wealth? How do you build wealth? Do you need a significant other? Why is it important to maybe have a partner so you could grow and build that wealth?
Correct.
We're going to talk about that next week, Thursday night. It's going to be a great topic. What's the last thing you want before we close out, Mike? What you want to talk about? The whole man, boy.
Well, no, we spoke about that. Well, I'm not even going to give them that. I'm going to let them listen. Ladies, if you need the vetting questions, remember, these are not questions. You don't need to ask all of them. The instructions are there, but they're in sequence for a purpose, right? So if you want that ring, you need to just start weeding out all the BS. You don't need to go on 5-6 dates with one guy to figure out, oh, he's not the one. You need to go on one date with that one guy because the first date is to collect data, right? So you don't want to just go, okay, let's see what number 2 and 3 and 4. No, that's a representative. That's not really him. So the last point really you need to verify is that are you able to handle his priorities?
When you say priorities, clarify, like what priorities? Is it the priorities of him saying maybe I want kids or priorities? No. What area of priorities are you talking? Because there's so many sectors.
So ladies, this is where it requires, this goes back to being humble. This goes back to feedback. This goes back to being receptive, right? Ooh. It all ties in, which is why it's the last one. Are you able to handle his priorities? What do I mean by that? Meaning it's not your responsibility, but can you handle his priorities? Meaning his priorities or priority, number one, unfortunately, is not you.
Just making sure he keeps growing as himself.
You are number 2, for sure.
Path of success.
You are number 2 for sure. But the reason why it's not you, and the reason you don't want it to be you, there's a reason for that. It's healthy. Trust me, ladies. If you are his priority, that's pressure for you to keep up to a certain level, to keep him happy. It's too much pressure you don't want to deal with. They make the type of dudes you want to deal with, in my opinion. Because why? Pressure's made for shoulders and not hips. When the pressure's put on you, and you're his priority, you don't meet those standards all the time, It causes friction. You're like, well, why don't you just go be with your friends? It's just too much because he's expecting so much from. No, you need your man to be focused on that priority, and you're going to benefit. So when he's out focusing, he comes back home. Now his focus is you. Now he's dumping he's gaining his therapeutic release from you. You know what I'm saying? So when he gets home, he's like, man, baby, look, and I had a deal today. I couldn't close. It's okay, baby. You know what? Tonight I'm gonna make you this, and then tomorrow you're recharging him, right? That in turn gives him energy to go out and be even better the next day because now he's thinking, you know what? She's been there for me so much when I was down. Baby, pack your bags, baby. We're going to Cancun. We're going to Dubai. We go whatever Fiji, whatever spot you say you want to go.
Going with that. That's very true.
This is the reason why. Can you handle his priorities? Meaning, there's going to be times where you're going to want to do things. His priority is going to call. There's going to be times that you want to go watch Netflix. His priority is going to call.
You have to be selfless.
So you have to understand it's not always about you. It is about you. You're part of his relationship. He wants you there.
It's always going to be about you.
But it's not going to always be you first.
When you date a successful man, he's right. Listen, ladies, listen up. I'm telling you.
That princess,
I'm telling you.
Why you gotta? They can't just wait. No.
Now when you dating a
successful man. When you met him, this was always going on.
And you just added to it.
Correct. So you can't expect to come in and stop, especially if this is not there yet.
Stop your show.
If the ring ain't there yet, you gotta understand. But you have to say also, even if the ring is there, what did you married? You married a go-getter. You married a hustler. You married a CEO, which is an executive mindset, meaning his priorities are definitely first. There's things that needs to get done, right?
Very true.
So this is the reason why I say that. Those are the 3 topics we'll go into for the night. But I think, ladies, it's healthy for you to get this PDF, especially if you're out here dating.
Sure.
It's simple questions. It ain't nothing crazy. You don't gotta go through all of them, but just simple questions. And if he doesn't pass question 1 or 2 or 3, you ain't gotta go all the way to number 6.
Don't waste your time.
Yeah.
People that we got a PDF.
So what do you think?
I'm gonna say this, man. I think this topic is very healthy because it really lets you see a different dynamic and what a lot of people call for, a lot of women call for. Oh, I want a successful man. But nobody really ever talks about what comes with a successful man and what is a successful man.
Correct.
$1 million and up, $5 million and up, 80,000 and up, 100, 300,000. And as the individual makes more money, do you understand what comes with his lifestyle? Do you understand his purpose? Do you understand his intent? Do you understand that he's not going to stop what he has going on because that's what you met him doing, and that's what he's going to continuously do?
Correct.
Are you able to, maneuver in that? And I love how somebody said this in the Clubhouse today. They said, 2 great people doesn't always work. I said, man, that's a good point. Yeah, because he's a good person. He got his life together. You're a good person. You got your life together. He probably make more money than you. That doesn't necessarily mean y'all got to work out.
No.
People have that mindset, well, if I get me a man with money, he's successful, he got stuff together, I'm going to be good. How can you possibly say that?
Here's a concept I want to give people before we close out. Right now, I heard this as well. The concept is this: when 2 people get together, like stay together, or just in a relationship, it's never equal. What do I mean? One person is coming up, one person is going to settle somehow, or compromise. Let me just say.
For sure.
What do I mean? One person is coming up, one person is compromising, or quote unquote settling. Meaning what? When one person gets with you, they're gonna be like, damn, they increased their situation. They benefited from being with you. Not saying the other person did, but it's more benefit to them versus the other side around. The other person, he's with you, he likes you and everything, or she's with you, she likes you and everything, but there is a compromise that person had to take. There's no come up for that person. Versus the other side, there's a come up. And that's with whether it's business, friendship, relationships, but specifically relationships. People think they were just gonna get together. I'm gonna come perfect. You're gonna come perfect, and we're gonna be perfect together. That's not that doesn't happen. Most of the time, somebody's coming up and somebody's settling. That's just what it is. I've done it. People do it every day.
Yeah,
and true. I see it in dynamics all the time.
For sure.
So man, I see it in dynamics all the time. So, did you want to get to some comments before we go out? Got those people asking stuff. Did they say anything?
No, we don't have much comments, which is cool. That's better for us. So we can chat about the next week topic a little bit in depth. People, I want you guys to know it's your boy Bob from Mentourme.com alongside.
It's Mike the Advisor, guys. Appreciate y'all coming through. Follow us on Clubhouse. Every Thursday night, we're going to be doing some topics. We're going to definitely keep going into the relationships.
What topic is that?
Oh, next week, we'll talk about does the Black community care about building wealth? And we're going to have a real socioeconomic. It's going to get real deep. It's going to be more of a real town hall type conversation, right?
This is something I can't wait to talk about, man.
But it's important, and I want people to kind of think about this differently and why it's so important.
For sure.
And there's some articles we're going to post into the comments so y'all can go click and kind of read with us and understand where we're getting this data from. But it's very important. It's something that needs to be spoken about much more. We spoke about this in our Clubhouse. We had over 300 people come in and just listen to it.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And it was a great topic, but I think it needs to be more on different mediums. So we're going to bring it to the Facebook and the YouTube family, and we'll talk about this. But next week, Thursday.
This is your boy from Mentourme.com alongside.
Advisor.
Appreciate you. See you guys next week, Tuesday, next week, Thursday. We're talking about different topics other than relationships, man. Mentourme.com, the painful truth.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah, I don't know what happened in the beginning.